Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday before spring break. Yeah, that's how we feel about it. Like, yay, spring break. And so, because we're librarians, over spring break, we're going to do a lot of reading. So, I was going to say some, but I can't even go there. We're going to do a lot of reading. It's what we do. I mean, you might get stacks. I might get a couple of books, but I'm definitely going to read. And even though clearly we love to read because we chose a profession that involved books, we want you guys to realize that reading can be relaxing for you too. It doesn't have to be a stressful, horrible thing. Although I understand that for some of you it has been. It could be. It has the potential. For those of you who are just sort of on the fence about reading, maybe this video is just for you. Like, this is the idea, like, maybe it could be better. Are there some ways to make reading an enjoyable activity and not something you have to do, or something that stresses you out? Is there a way that you can read and be blissful like librarians?
Right. The most important thing, I think, is to pick a book that you think you will like. A lot of times we have people come in and say they have to get a book for a class, and they're like, oh, I don't know, this one's small, I'll get that one. It's really small, I have to get one. I don't care what it's about, just get it. I don't like to read anyway. And we strongly discourage that approach as it tends to not be very successful in someone picking out a good book. So think about things you enjoy. If you enjoy science, then maybe go look in the section about science. Don't try to go find like a historical fiction book if you don't like history like science. Go with your interests. Also, like, if you don't want a ginormous book, don't get a ginormous book. Read the jacket flap, look at the book, maybe read the first couple of sentences and see if it grabs you, and if it does not, then put it back and get something else.
I mean, let's be honest, even if you read the first chapter and you don't like it, bring it back. Life's too short for books you don't love, and there will be books you have to read, English books and history books. So books you don't have to read, you should love. And if you don't love them, put them up. Put them up.
Get a different one.
Yes.
So once you have found a book or books that you think you will enjoy, like, we can read anywhere probably, but generally that's out of necessity. Like, I happen to be at the doctor's office, so I'm going to read there, but I wouldn't necessarily choose to go to the doctor's office just to read a book. I read in my bed a lot, which often results in me falling asleep mid-book. She's actually seen it happen.
It's kind of funny at conference.
Drift off
her book falls on the floor. You're like, oh, Wheatley fell asleep
now. Yeah, so you could read in your bed, all snuggled up in your covers, propped up with some pillows, maybe a little mug of tea or some hot chocolate or coffee or whatever nearby. I also really enjoy reading in a hammock. I have a hammock outside, and I take a little pillow out there, and I've got a little stump, little table. I put my drink over there and read my book. It's very relaxing. Hear all the nature sounds and stuff. So the weather, I think, is supposed to be nice over this spring break. So if you've never tried reading outside and you like nature, then find yourself a cozy little spot outside and see if you like reading on the porch or at the park or something like that.
Yeah, and also a side note, if you're making a nest to read in, which is like your hammock or your bed, for me it's my sofa. I like to pull the ottoman really close so it's within reach and I can put my stuff down on it. And I can like to pull a blanket even when it's not really cold. I just like one. Put your phone on silent and face down it, because we even get distracted by our phones. So you won't know if reading is relaxing if you're picking up your phone every 40 seconds.
Right. And you also, like, if you prevent these distractions, it gives you an opportunity to really get into the story. If you're stopping every now and again because your phone is buzzing, so you've got a Facebook notification or a tweet or whatever like that, then you're removing yourself from the experience of the story. Or if you're reading a narrative nonfiction or something, you can't really get swept up if other things are constantly pulling you back to reality.
Yeah.
So protect that time for yourself if you want to actually get that experience.
Which is hard. It's a hard thing, but it gets easier. So we talked about choosing a good book and making a nest and avoiding distractions. Also know that if while you're reading your book and you get sort of sleepy, that's okay too. I mean, it's okay to get relaxed. Even sometimes in the afternoon when I read, I get sleepy. Just put my book down, I put my head over, rest my eyes. Sometimes I fall asleep, sometimes I don't. But then when I open my eyes again, it's refreshing. Reading should be great. And if reading leads to a nap, which is also great, still great.
Even better.
Yeah, especially over spring break. You should definitely be recharging. And if you can do that with a book and a nap, then go for it.
Yeah, those are the main things that I think are the most important about reading being relaxing. If you've never had that experience, give it a try. I don't know if they've done studies on this. I didn't bother to look up this information before, but I feel like if I'm stressed and I get into a book, I get de-stressed. My heart rate actually lowers, my blood pressure goes down. That's one of the things that happens when you are relaxing. So once you get that experience, it's kind of like, oh, well, next time I'm stressed, I want to do that to get myself out of it. I remember talking to a student years ago who told me that he started reading because he realized that it was the quickest way to calm himself down. He was quick to anger, and if he got himself in a stressful situation, if he could get away and sit down in the library even and read a book, he could get back out of that mindset and get himself back on the path that he wanted to be on. So there's all kinds of good things that you can get from reading. If you still need some books, remember tomorrow we will be open during storm.
We will.
You can come in and get a couple of books for over the break. Don't forget about the spring break bingo challenge.
We've had a lot of people pick them up. Please fill them out and bring them back.
Yes.
We're so excited.
Yes, we want to see lots of these forms come back, which they're due back Monday when we get back from break. So April 3rd, please remember to bring them back. We can't put your name in the drawing if you don't actually bring your stuff back to us. So make sure you remember to do that. Anything that you have read between March 9th, when we originally talked about this challenge, and April 3rd. So if you read books but you didn't know about this, you can count anything you've read between March 9th and April 3rd when those forms are due.
And
so
3 solid weeks, plenty of time.
You can do it. So we hope to see you today, this afternoon, or tomorrow, and then again right
On
after
the 3rd.
right after spring break. So enjoy your break, and we are not going to do any videos obviously next week. So we're going to be on break. We're going to be busy reading, and then on Monday the 3rd we'll come back and talk about books that we've read.
All the books.
Yay. Have a nice day.